Welcome to Jiva Yoga Live. I'm Hillary. I'm going to show you some stretches for neck and shoulders today. These are going to be perfect if you're doing a post-workout stretch or if you're just looking for some restorative release for any stress and tension in your upper back. Let's take a look. All right, let's take a look at some nice stretching exercises for your neck and shoulders. Before we get into any deep stretches, we definitely want to warm up the body a little bit. As you can see, I'm getting mine warmed up right now. So maybe you're doing the same, just finding some organic movement. But together we can go ahead and bring the feet about shoulder width apart. And let's just start with some shoulder rolls. So bringing the shoulders up towards the ears, rolling them back down the spine, breathing with the movement, maybe swaying side to side as you do it, finding that inner dancer. We can return the shoulders towards the front, rolling them in the opposite direction, opening through the chest, through the back of the body. Maybe doing them side to side, bring shoulder to ear, shoulder to ear, shoulder to ear, and then looking over each shoulder. Exhale, look over the shoulder, inhale back to center, and exhale, inhale, exhale. Just loosening up the space between the neck and the shoulders here. We can begin to draw some circles with the nose, helping to open the front of the throat, the front of the shoulder, the front of the neck. And reverse, going in the opposite direction. And then just finding a little more fluidity. Getting ready for our first posture, first pose. So for our series of stretches today, you may need a few props. Today I'm going to be using 2 blocks and a strap. If you don't have that, pause the video, go ahead and grab it, and when you're ready, come back and meet me here. So our first pose, I'm going to show you first with a strap for your modified version. It's called cow face pose. I don't know why. But if that speaks to you, great. So to do this pose, we'll just start from a standing position. We want to have the spine, as always, nice and lengthened, stretching from the hips to the heart to the head in a nice straight line. We'll inhale. We're going to bring the right arm above the head. We'll bend the elbow and bring the right hand to the back, top of the back. If you're doing this with the strap, you want to go ahead and bring your strap up in your hand and then bring the palm towards the back. With your left hand, we'll bend the elbow behind the back and reach up and grab the strap. So we inhale, we're able to get a nice stretch, pulling down on the strap, lengthening through the back of the arm and opening through the chest. So I'll show you from here. I'm opening through the chest, I'm lifting the gaze, and I'm pulling down on the strap to help me open even further, bringing the elbow closer to the back of the body. And to release, we exhale and repeat on the opposite side. Now, if you are a little deeper in your stretch, you may not need the strap. So to demonstrate the full stretch on the opposite side, we would raise the left hand all the way up and bend the elbow, coming with the left hand to the top of the spine. And then we just reach the right arm up and grab the hands together. You can lock the hands and grip them. And then with the right hand, you're pulling back, you're pulling down on the left hand, allowing the elbow to come even further towards the sky, stretching out of the armpit. We're lifting the chest. And we're breathing here, taking a slight back bend Really opening through the backs of the arms, through the backs of the shoulders, and to release, exhale, let it go. The next posture we're going to look at for a nice stretch is really easy. We're simply going to stand with our hips, our feet about hips distance apart. We're going to bring the hands together at the base of the spine. We can interlace the fingertips. Go ahead and roll the shoulders away from the ears, shoulder blades down the spine, and lift the chest. Let the hips come forward just a little bit. We're pressing through our feet, so we're activating through our legs. Even though we're stretching the back of the body, the back of the spine, we really want to bring some intention to the entire body. So this is not a passive pose, it's very active. So press the hands together, squeeze the palms together, and lift the hands down and away from the body. As you move the hands away from the body, you may tilt the hips forward just a bit, lift the gaze, lift the chest, and find a little back bend here. You can bring the arms up as much as comfortable to really stretch through the sides of the shoulders. You can open the neck even further. Whenever you find the extent of comfortability in that posture, you want to find a space you can rest and take at least 5 breaths, maybe going for 10. And when you're ready, just releasing the palms. This is really nice in the sides of the arms here and the sides of the shoulders. It really helps to open the chest, and when we're opening the chest, we're also opening the back of the body. Next pose we're going to do, there's a few variations. So I'll show you the modified variation and then we'll go into the full posture. First, we're just going to grab opposite elbows with opposite hands. This is all that we're doing in this pose. We can roll the shoulders again up and down the back of the body, lift through the chest, and then perhaps walking the hands further up the arms to bring the elbows closer together. We're opening through the chest, and we're lifting the gaze again, lifting out of the hips, pressing into the feet. This is a great way to stretch the backs of the shoulders. And if you want to come into the full expression of the posture, we're going to take the palms together into a prayer position at the base of the spine, and then move the palms up the back of the spine, press into the palms, and then press the palms into the back and allow the elbows to expand open, coming towards each other. When you're pressing into your palms, you're pressing the hands into the spine. It's helping to lift the chest. And we're rolling the shoulder blades out of the chest. So we're really finding a nice deep stretch here, even into the wrists. This is a great stretch for the back, for the shoulders, for the arms, for the wrists. And if you take a small back bend, it's really great for the neck and the throat as well. So finding where it's comfortable for you to get into this posture, take 5 or 10 breaths here. The next posture we're going to come into, we'll inhale the arms above the head, wide, keep the hands wide. And then we're going to exhale, bring the hands together behind the base of the neck, behind the base of the skull. We can interlace the fingertips like this. And we really want to draw the elbows in opposite directions so that we're lifting out of the armpits here. And we really feel the stretch in the backs of the arms and the backs of the shoulder. So energetically letting those elbows pull away from the ears. And we're not pressing our hands into our head or our head into our hands. We're going to inhale, lift the chest into a baby back bend. Again, pulling the energy of the elbows away from the body, allowing the head to rest in the palms and sinking the hips forward a little bit to support the pose. And when you find a comfortable space in this position, you just want to hold it there and breathe about 5 to 10 breaths. And when you're ready, you can release the hands down by the side. So we'll come up, inhale, exhale the hands behind the head. This time we're going to bring the elbows together in front of the body. And as we do this, we really want to open the backs of the shoulder blades. And this time we can gently press the head into the palms of the hands. And we'll inhale to lengthen. And as we exhale, we'll think about bringing the elbows towards each other. And we're going to roll forward with control. So to begin, we think about bringing our nose towards our chest. Slowly bringing the nose towards the chest. Keeping the navel tucked into the spine, keeping the hips engaged, pressing into the feet. And as we're rolling further, we think about bringing the nose towards the navel. Keeping the hips tucked, keeping the navel tucked. And we continue to roll. We think about bringing the nose towards the pelvis. Feeling the hips lifted. And begin to bring the chest towards the tops of the thigh. Still rolling down, still keeping that navel tucked tight to the spine. And now we're beginning to think about bringing the forehead towards the knees or towards the tops of the shins. We're lifting through the legs, activating the tops of the thighs, allowing the hips and the tailbone to go directly towards the sky. And when you find the fullest extension of your posture, you can release the hands down towards the mat. You may be supporting yourself here with some blocks, but here we just release. Allow the elbows to go wide and the chest to come closer towards the legs. The spine is relaxed, the neck is an extension. Inhaling and exhaling here. And when you're ready, finding a little bend in the knees, pressing firmly into all four corners of the feet. And with the strength of the legs and the hips, we begin to roll the body up, vertebrae by vertebrae. And roll the shoulders down and away from the ears. Really nice full body roll. And you can come out of this, find a little movement. Next, we're going to take a look at a standing forward fold. So we're going to use our blocks for this. You can go ahead and bring both of your blocks in front of your feet, separate them. Depending on your flexibility, you may want to bring them higher, lower, or to their lowest setting. Maybe you don't need them at all. I'm going to have mine here on about a middle setting. We're going to bring the feet as wide as the hips, and we're going to come into a standing tabletop position. So hinging from the hips, we'll bring the torso extend long, bring the hands towards the ground, meeting the blocks or all the way to the mat, and our fingers are wide, just like we're in tabletop position. The wrists are below the shoulders, and the knees are below the hips. Tuck the navel into the spine so that we have a nice length in the spine. We're engaging, we're pressing through the feet, we're lifting through the tops of the legs, and we're really pressing away from our palms. This is allowing us to open the backs of the shoulders, finding a really nice deep stretch here. The more you activate, the more you press away from the earth, the more you're going to feel this stretch. You can let this neck be an extension of the spine. You may want to find a little movement here. But when you find a stretch that feels really good here, hold that stretch for about 5 to 10 breaths, okay? And from the same position, we're going to take a twist. So this time just using one block, you can move one block out of the way. Maybe turn the block towards the side for more support. And you're going to press the hand directly below the face into the block. And as you inhale, open the opposite arm towards the sky, keeping the hips squared and lifting the gaze towards the sky. Really think about lifting the fingertips so that we're reaching out of the armpit. It's allowing us to twist, to open further from the chest, to open further in the back of the body, and our gaze is meeting our fingers. And we'll exhale it down. Bring the left hand below the face. Inhale, exhale, twist. Really extend through both arms. Find the expansion between the shoulder blades. Turn the gaze. Really helps open the neck when you turn your gaze towards your palm. Exhale, we'll come down. To come out of the pose, bring the hands to the hips and with control, lift the torso, unhinging from the hips. Really good. Feeling nice and open in the shoulders. Our last pose we're going to come into is going to be on the floor, and it's a really great way to round out the stretching practice. I love this posture. It's called rabbit pose. It's not one of the most familiar poses, but it has a lot of benefits, even has a lot of benefits of inversions. So if you're wanting to do some inversions and you're not ready to get into a full inversion with the feet above the head, this is a great place to start, or a place to find a little restorative inversion. So we'll come to a kneeling position. Our feet are flexed, and we're just going to bring the hands around and grab the backs of the heels. And then we're going to fold the body forward and bring the top of our head towards the mat, close to the knees, like this. When your head is resting on the mat, we're not putting too much weight in the spine, into the crown of the head. We don't want to compress the neck. And from here, we're going to lift the hips high and find a really nice deep stretch by pressing the feet into the palms and pressing the hips towards the sky. Tuck the navel into the spine and really feel the body opening here in the backs of the shoulders, in the tailbone, and in the lower spine. You may even feel the stretch here in your arm as well. Rabbit pose is great. It really helps calm the mind as well as stretch the body. So when you find what feels good here, try to stay in the posture for 10 breaths, maybe going a little less or a little more. And when you're ready to come out of the posture, allow the hips to come back to the heels and lift the torso. That's our last posture that we're going to look at for stretching. So hopefully this was a great practice for you. You can do any of these anytime. Go as deep into them as you want, or find as much rest in them as you want. Would you like to dive deeper into today's sequence? Click the link in the description below. You can download the PDF with images and tips to help you get deeper into today's practice. Namaste.